Alright, we got us some mushrooms. Caleb, you like it? How long did that take to get? Just a few minutes? Yeah. It didn't take long at all, did it? It's amazing how easy they are together. The only downside is it's usually in July when these things come up. They come up in mid-June, July, and they're all the way through July, sometimes into August. So why do I say that's the downside? Well, look at that sweaty face. It's kind of hot. It's kind of hot when you're out gathering them, but that's not that big a deal. We can handle that. All right, folks, you've got your mushroom here. Of course, the boys just pulled them right up out of the ground, and they still got that little root on them. So the first thing you're going to do is cut that off and get rid of that. Okay, so there's still dirt. Of course, in the woods, it's dirty. There's no problem there. The next thing you're going to do is wash them with cold water. You don't want to soak them in the water too long because they soak water up like a sponge. So in the past, we've put them in water and soaked them for a few hours, and that turned out to be a bad thing. So you're just going to wash them up in running water and pitch them in a strainer, and they can dry out. Then you get your next one, do the same thing. Cut that root thing off. Get rid of that. Get it right under that water. Start washing. Now these things grow in the woods, and sometimes there's a leaf or a stick. It grows right around it. So you got to spot those things and get them out of there. Now one thing you can do if you're afraid a few little bugs or something's in there, you can soak them in salty water for just a few minutes. That'll scare out any kind of bug or anything. If the mushroom you're dealing with is the type that bugs harbor in. These here aren't really buggy type mushrooms. They just don't have a whole lot in them. They don't have deep fins. These type mushrooms have almost no fins. They're real slick. So if there's a bug in there, he washes right out. No problem. And so I'm just going to keep doing this process with all these until I get a strainer full. And then it goes to the boys at the table, and they're going to do their thing. If you got some dirt that won't come off really easily, you can take a small brush. They make all kinds of little brushes. They make some called mushroom brushes even. Just take the little brush and in conjunction with the water, it'll get it all clean. You could use your husband's toothbrush when he ain't looking. That was a joke, women, don't do that. Notice how when they get wet and they soak up some water, how their color comes back to them. This here is how they were coming out of the woods where it was hot and dry. They sort of got pale in color, and I wondered about that. But when I brought them in and got them wet, look at that, the color come right back to them. Good, rich orange color. What's going down, boys? What you doing, man? You cutting up again, Matt? I can't believe that. Joe, cutting up. Caleb, are you cutting up?
I had that board, Matt stole it from me.
He stole it from you. Caleb, what are you doing with such a big mushroom? Show me how to cut it. Show me how to cut that mushroom up. I'm gonna zoom in here and look at you. Can you do it? Do you know what you're doing?
You're using the wrong side of your
good job, boy. Was you cutting that with the back side of the knife?
Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing about mushrooms. They're soft. You can cut them however you want. Oh, boy. Try cutting it with the front of your knife now. Don't cut your finger. Oh, that cut a lot easier, didn't it? It didn't even squeak. Yes, sir. You're doing good. I don't know how many folks out there's got 4-year-olds that they can let cut mushrooms with a knife, but this fella can do it. We know he can do it because he does it. I don't reckon he's ever cut himself doing that. Have you ever cut yourself with a knife, boy? No? We've taught you to be careful, haven't we? I think some of my boys have probably cut themselves a time or two, but it's all worth it in the long run, a learning curve. What kind of knife you got, Dave? I've never seen that before. Is that a pizza cutter or what? No? Well, it works good on them, don't it? Okay, so my wife informs me that this is not just any ordinary knife. This is the legendary knife of the Arctic. This is not anything to sneeze at. She also informed me it was a gift to us. And so thank you, Esther, for this gift. We very much appreciate it. It is awesome cutting mushrooms. Just take a little look here. Nice. I'll just put this here. If you want to read all that, you can pause it and read it. Very nice. I like it. So this knife is not just any ordinary knife. The original knife of the Arctic. Well, we're just gonna keep cutting up here. I gotta go wash some more while these boys are cutting. Matt, what in the world kind of knife you got, son? That thing probably weighs 20 pounds. You like that?
Yeah.
You do.
Sharp.
Sharp. Makes you feel like a monster using that, don't it?
No.
Like a giant man? Goliath? I don't know. It's getting the job done, looks like. Joe, you got the biggest pile of actual product there. I think you might be the most productive person in the group. Well, I'm gonna go back to washing and then we're gonna keep it rolling. Well, folks, here's our bowl that's already all cut up and we're finished. We washed them and we cut them and it made a bowl that size right there, which you might not be able to really tell the size of it, but it's a pretty good sized bowl. And now we're gonna do the cooking. So you might wonder how we're gonna fix these up. Are we gonna just slap them in jars, put a little salt? Are we gonna pickle them, slap them in jars? How are we gonna do this? Well, we've done it all those ways, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do it now. And this has got to be the best way. All right, we're in the summer kitchen and you can see that the jars of beans have already been canned and we're getting ready to cook. And I'll tell you what, there's a little secret. Bacon grease. Bacon grease, that's it. We're gonna fry these babies up in bacon grease and then can them in jars. That is how you make good tasting mushrooms. Here's our summer kitchen where we're gonna be doing this frying up. And there's no smoke coming out the stack. But I guarantee you the fire is hot. Hot. The hottest fires actually don't make no smoke, which is probably good for the atmosphere. So anyway, well, let's get in there and get to cooking. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's thundering and there's a storm approaching. I tell you, we can't go one day, maybe, without a little storm coming through. Well, like I was telling you before in the video, that's good for mushrooms. Let her rip. Tater chip.
All over the stove.
Oh yeah, listen to that. Bacon grease, bacon grease. You can't go wrong with bacon grease. You by yourself? Wow. Press on the other skillet, see if it's hot. Yep, let it re-update it, yep. Good, and then you have to do another one. All right. Let the bacon games begin. Those are two very large cast iron skillets full of mushrooms. There's the fire that's powering this baby. Pardon me while that fries, I'm going to eat me some watermelon. I guess while I'm eating my watermelon, I'll walk you around the garden a little bit. Sweet corn's doing good. Good watermelon. I did not grow this watermelon, I have to tell you that. May as well make that clear now. But anyway, I'm growing corn there. We got the beans are coming up. We got a rooster. We grow roosters too. And there's some peppers, some okra, eggplant, and hot peppers, hot peppers, hot peppers. A few, some kind of Israel melons or some kind of melon there that we got from old Doug in Oklahoma. And more hot peppers and tomatoes. The tomatoes down here, I'll go down there and show them to you. And there they are. We've got them strung up as high as the stakes are, and they're gonna just keep growing. So sometimes I prune the tops of them off so they don't just keep going and fall over. And sometimes I just let them keep going. So they will fall over if I don't trim the tops of them out. I may end up having a guy cut me some tomato stakes that are a lot taller. But these determinate tomatoes ain't supposed to just keep going, but they do. So anyway, that's the tomatoes. What are you doing, fella?
Picking blackberries.
Show me where some blackberries are. Right here.
Fortunately, I got you.
There's a lot of pink ones. There's a lot of red ones. I just don't see that many black ones. Did you eat all of them already?
No.
No?
I look over here and this thing, I see some.
A good looking patch of blackberries you got here. There's a ripe one. Good looking berry there, boy. That one don't look that great, but it's black. Well, now you keep picking if you want. I'm gonna just ease on out of here. There's some maters on these plants. That's a pretty big mater right there. Looks like an ox heart. I don't know if that's what it is or not. We got different varieties here. Got some there. Some right up here at the first, we got the old potato leaf yeller. German pink. They're coming on pretty good. German Johnson is the name of them. Well, here we are to check them. They look like they're doing good. They cook down quite a bit, so you get more in your jar if you do cook them before you jar them up. The other pan here looking pretty good too. Yes, sir, buddy. While my mushrooms are frying, I thought I better give a shout out to my friend Barbara that gave me this book. She noticed that I was getting awful interested in mushrooms. And Barbara, from all good, thank you so much for giving me this book. It's made a difference. It's probably saved my life, saved my family's life, I'd say. Thanks. Oh, it's coming along nicely. Looking good. All right, we're gonna take them out. We don't have to cook the time out of them. We're gonna be putting them in pressure canner for about 30 minutes. So they turn kind of brown as they cook. They look a lot like a mushroom out of the store at this point. Time to add a little wood. There we go. All right, it's time to put the mushrooms in the jar. As you can see, they cooked down to about half of what they had been. So if you got the jar funnel, it makes it very easy. And it don't take a whole lot to fill them babies right up. And there you have it. One jar down, and I don't know how many to go. So as we see, we have 7 jars that got finished up. So the first thing you're going to do is take a damp, clean cloth and wipe the top where your ring is going to be sealing down, because you don't want this to break seal during the time that you're storing all this, because the whole point of this is to store this for later use. So you wipe all this down real nicely, get that bacon grease off if any of it got on there, or any other foreign object. Get that all wiped down good, and then take yourself a nice lid, brand new, never used. Put it right on there. Then take your ring, screw that down. Now you're going to screw that real tight with 2 hands. You're not going to be holding the camera with one hand and jar in the other. And you're going to tighten that up really nice and tight. And then you're going to set that down in your canner. Then you're going to can it with 10 pounds of pressure for 30 minutes. When you take it out, it'll be ready to cool and go in your storage. I don't know if you got a pantry or just shelf somewhere or what you got, but basement, some people have a root cellar. However you want to do it, it'll be ready to store, and it'll keep for years. All right. Best way to get them nice and tight is to use a slightly damp towel, which it's already slightly damp, and tighten them babies down. You want to make it good and tight so when the rubber seal adheres to the jar, that it has really good contact and there's nothing there to break that seal. And there they go into the canner. So we're going to put the lid on, and the heat's already rolling. As you know, the fire is flat getting it. Woo, that's hot. Oh, she is rolling. What do you say, Caleb? You like good old mushrooms, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. We got her rolling. What's your favorite part, picking them or cooking them?
Picking them.
Picking them, me too. What's your favorite part, picking them or eating them?
Picking them.
Picking them? Oh, I gotta say my favorite part's probably eating a nice pizza. Woo! Pizza, pizza!
I like pizza too.
Whoa, that thing started jiggling within just a few short minutes. And that, my friends, is what it does when it gets up to 10 pounds of pressure. It starts jiggling. My videos aren't all about being self-sufficient, but if you don't cook with wood, you're not at all self-sufficient. You're relying on something that somebody else did for you. I have taken the canner off the stove. It's been 30 minutes on 10 pounds pressure. And we will let it sit here all night and slowly cool off, and then in the morning we'll take the lid off and see what we got. It is the next morning, and this thing is nice and cool now. So we are going to open this baby up and see what we got. All right, here's what we've got. Mushrooms. This jar was the last one I filled. It didn't fill all the way up, but if you pack your jars before you cook them, if you pack them green, they're all going to be like this. No matter how full you make it, they cook down. So if you want your jars to be full when you get done, pre-cook them. Cook them in bacon grease, hog lard, however you want them. You can boil them, I mean, if you're afraid of grease. I'm not really afraid of grease, but bacon grease is by far the best because it's got that flavor. Mushrooms are made to absorb flavor, and that's what they're used for in any kind of Italian dish, pizza, pasta. That's what it's all about. So there you go, folks. That's how we do mushrooms, and hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Go down in the comment section and let me know if you've ever ate chanterelle mushrooms, or if you haven't, what your favorite mushroom is. And if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel. And we will keep just bringing you the videos. So we will see you on the next video. Bye.